Good morning and Merry Christmas to you. Welcome to your fiscal court. It's Tuesday, December the 16th at 9:30. And as always, it is my first and foremost pleasure to introduce our preacher, our minister. And today we have Brother Rodney Alexander from Little Block Baptist Church. He will lead us in a prayer and then the pledge to the U.S. flag. Brother Rodney, stand.
Let's pray together. Father, this morning we thank you so much for all the wonderful things that you have done and provided for each and every one of us. Father, we have a great country in which we live, and we give you thanks for that. We give you thanks for the men and women who protect us and care for us, those who have done so in the past and those who do so today and those who will in the future. We thank you, Lord, for a very special time of year that we celebrate at Christmas, when we celebrate the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ, who came into the world to give us life, hope, and health. Father, I pray today that you will continue to watch over us as a country. You'll continue to guide us, guide our lives, give us wisdom to make good decisions. Father, I pray for our county, and thank you for it, for the blessing that it is to live here, to raise our families here. Thank you for the leadership, and Father, for the direction that you give them. And I pray you give them wisdom as they continue to lead. And Father, today we are a grateful people. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Brother Rodney. I have a couple of changes to the agenda. Well, just one. Under presentations, letter E, I wish to move number 4 under new business to letter E under presentations, so that we can get Eric's personnel here quickly and she can do her job. Excuse my voice, the weather is difficult. We're going to move on with our agenda. Number 4, presentation and approval of bills. Action is requested.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcroft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Walker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the bills as presented by our treasurer, Ken and Sharp.
Thank you, Judge. The bills to be approved were dated for December 3rd, December 8th, and also for December 11th.
Make a motion to pay those bills.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcroft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Walker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And Ms. Sharp, the treasurer's report.
And also in your packets were bills, or for the treasurer's report, that included the fund receipt report, the monthly revenue journal, an appropriation condition report, an expenditure transfer, a receipt transfer report, a warrant distribution, and a financial statement through November the 30th of 2014.
Action is requested.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Number 6 on our agenda, approval of the minutes from November the 18th and December the 2nd. If there are changes, I suggest we take each set of minutes separately.
I found a situation that I think maybe Ms. Williams is going to have to check that out on the December the 2nd minutes. There's a duplicate, I mean, I don't know that it's not supposed to be, but anyway, there's the same amount, 91,065.06. And that's under number 09 and also number 77. And when I figured it out using both those numbers, it still doesn't come out to the number that's there, so she's going to have to check that out and see if that is supposed to be on there or not. But she's aware of that. But everything else was fine.
Well, then let's take the December, did you have any changes for the November 18th?
No.
Let's take the December 2nd. I suggest we have a motion to approve those contingent upon the change that you requested. So I'll make a motion.
I make a motion to accept the November 18th
It's
minutes.
December 2nd.
December the 2nd's one's got the mistake on
But
there.
that's what I'm.
Oh, is that the one you want to take now?
Yeah.
December the 2nd with a change possible and the number 09 and number 77 on there as being duplicates, possibility of a change there. And then when I added it all up, even with those both, it still didn't come out. So check that out.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the December 2nd meeting minutes with the, on the condition that change was made per Magistrate Ashfall. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now let's take the November 18th meeting minutes.
November the 18th, I make a motion to accept the November 18th minutes. The only thing I found was a typo, just a comma in the wrong spot. I'll tell you that. And that's all. Otherwise, it's fine.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay. Now, it's my pleasure to present a proclamation to a young lady who's in this courtroom this morning who is much deserving of a proclamation. After you hear what this young lady has accomplished and she's still in high school, it is outstanding. So I ask the Fiscal Court members to join me if you wish. And we're going to honor Miss Sarah Shaw. Come on, turn to Sarah. Sarah, it is my honor to read this to you and to proclaim today your day. And this is what's just, here are some things this young lady has done already in her young life. Proclamation of Melanie J. Roberts, Bullitt County Judge Executive. Sarah Shaw has brought positive recognition to her community and state through her acceptance to and participation in the Macy's Great American Marching Band, which performed in the 88th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City on November the 27th, 2014. Her appearance was seen by 50 million television viewers, and she was featured in the Courier-Journal newspaper, the Pioneer News, and on Wave 3, and was recognized by Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear for her dedication to achieving success. And whereas Sarah Shaw was the recipient of the 2014 Bob Hope Scholarship. How many of y'all remember Bob Hope? I loved him. I loved his humor. Which is awarded, the Bob Hope Scholarship is awarded to one Macy's Parade band member for her excellent essay, which demonstrated that she exhibits the traits of Bob Hope in relation to public service and musicianship. Linda Hope, the daughter of Bob Hope, stated that my father would be very proud that such an accomplished and caring young woman was this year's scholarship winner. Wow, that's awesome. And whereas Sarah Shaw excels in her pursuit of an education by challenging herself in difficult classes, and as a member of the National Honor Society, History Club, and Film Club. She has been a member of the Louisville Youth Orchestra Horizons Saxophone Ensemble for 3 years. Has been a member of the All-District Band for 4 years and has received the highest ratings possible at the KMEA. Now, what's KMEA?
The Kentucky Musical Education Association.
Solo and Ensembles Contest, and received the highest rating possible, which was a
Distinguished.
for her saxophone solo at the 2014 State Solo Contest. She has also been a drum major of the Bullitt Central High School Band, marching band, for 2 years. I remember that. And has played in the concert band for 4 years. And whereas Sarah Shaw participates in local and state horse shows with her miniature horse, GTR. Now, what's that mean?
It was just the name of the farm.
Oh, okay. Patrick's Vindicator. Sarah and Patrick have also participated in the Pegasus Parade, Pegasus Preview, St. Patrick's Day Parade, the North American Livestock Show, Shepherdsville Christmas Parade, and the Secretariat Festival, which honors Patrick as their official mascot. Sarah has worked tirelessly to promote Patrick and the miniature horse breed and the Bluegrass Miniature Horse Club. To this end, Patrick has been featured in several national magazines. That's so neat. And whereas Sarah Shaw and her miniature horse, Patrick, have been certified as a therapy team, Sarah and Patrick volunteer their time visiting hospitals, bringing happiness to patients through their interactions with them. And whereas Sarah Shaw hopes to further her education at a major university, and through her success bring more positive recognition to her community and her state. And now, therefore, I, Melanie J. Roberts, Judge Executive of Bullitt County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the 16th day of December, 2014, to be Sarah Shaw Day. Big round of applause. But I also want to ask her, my question is, because I watch the Macy's Parade every year, I love that parade. And my mother and I even went to the Macy's Parade one year. It was so cold, but we enjoyed it. I want you to tell us about that experience.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for coming and for giving me this award. It's just an absolute honor to have even been in the Macy's band and then to be awarded the Bob Hope Scholarship, because he's a really influential person in my life. I spent the whole summer watching his movies, and it's just unbelievable that all this happened. I got to go for a week to New York City and practice with the band. We only had 16 hours of practice time to put the entire show together and learn how to march together. We practiced in Armory every day with top college professors, and they taught us the music and the marching style. And on parade day, I got up at 1:30 in the morning, had to put on my uniform and go, and we left the hotel at 2, and we went to Herald Square, and we practiced at 4:30 in the morning. We went through our entire show there. And that's what all the bands do. They have to go through it. It starts at 3 in the morning, so some people were even less lucky than us. And after that, we had breakfast at Hard Rock Cafe, and everybody was sleeping on the floor because we were all so tired. And at, I think it was like 8 o'clock, we went to Central Park, and we had to wait for about 2 hours before it was our spot in the parade. And once you start marching, it's not cold anymore. You start getting hot, except for your fingers, which are freezing. But marching 3 miles, you know, you can't really see the people on either side of you because you're not supposed to look at them, but you can just hear all of the people, and there's the little kids that are hanging out the windows watching you in the parade. It's just an unbelievable experience, and I'm so thankful that I got to go and do that.
Now, tell us anything else you want to say. Because I want to.
You guys like Patrick, you can visit Patrick's Facebook page. Patrick Miniature Works. He's kind of a celebrity too, so.
Well, you certainly are a celebrity, and we are so grateful that you live in Bullitt County. You're just fabulous. Oh, let me let the magistrates and the fiscal court. John, you want something?
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. You've got a long way to go. And, I hope you remember all these great things that you've done.
Would anybody else like to say anything to this wonderful community? Mom, Dad, thank you for being here. I know you would be.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my parents. Not only they've encouraged me, but they paid for me to go too.
And we got to go too, so it was a great one.
We're really, really proud. Thank you for being great parents. Let's give Sarah another big round of applause. Now, just stay here because we have another wonderful community member who I love dearly. And I've known her family for years and years and years. I know it makes us sound old, doesn't it? But you know what? We got the heritage, we got the tradition. I love your children to pieces. I love your grandchildren. I've taught most of the grandchildren at Cedar Grove, 2 of them at Cedar Grove, who I just love them dearly. So at this time, let me bring up a wonderful, wonderful lady, Billy Sue Waters. Come on up here, Miss Billy Sue. Our county clerk. Let's give Kevin Mooney a round of applause. Oh, Billy Sue was really surprised by this. She did not know this was happening. So look at the folks she worked with smile. It was really grinning like, oh no. All right, Miss Billy Sue. I am very honored to do this. I am grateful that Kevin Mooney, our county clerk, asked me to do this. When he asked, I said, well, certainly. I'm more than happy, honored to do this. And this is going to be a little bit like This Is Your Life. How many of us remember that show? I see some fingers. Proclamation of Melanie J. Roberts, Bullitt County Judge Executive. Whereas Billy Sue Waters started in the Bullitt County Clerk's office on February 15, 1994. And whereas Billy Sue Waters has worked there for 20 years and 10 months for 3 different county clerks. Nina Mooney, which is Kevin's mama, Nora McCauley, and Kevin Mooney. And whereas Billy Sue Waters has worked in the office with the Land Records Department for all those years, she has provided years of service to those looking for land records by teaching them the basics of deed and mortgage documents, along with how to find ancestral records. Whereas Billy Sue Waters has also worked Election Day, answering all manner of voter questions. But the favorite question of all time that people ask her has been, where do I vote? And whereas the Bullitt County Clerk's Office is losing a valuable resource with her retirement in records lookup, and she will be very missed. And whereas Billy Sue Waters' last day will be December the 31st, 2014. Now, therefore, I, Melanie J. Roberts, Judge Executive of Bullitt County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the 31st day of December, 2014, to be Billy Sue Waters Day. Let's give Billy Sue Waters. Now you know we're going to speech.
Oh, no. That's not me.
You want to say that?
No, I just thank everyone for giving me this honor, and I have enjoyed my time there, and I'm going to miss it as well as the people.
Now let's let Kevin talk. I'll switch places. You want to get over there?
Billy has broke in or worked with 3 different clerks, and she has taught me an awful lot about how to do various things in the office. And while I wished I could keep her for another 10 or 20 years to learn more from her, everybody deserves an opportunity to retire while they got the time to go and enjoy it. And that's my wish to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get Kevin. Okay, John.
Just congratulations, I
Thank you.
appreciate your service. I'm sure you've helped everybody.
Thank you very much. Known you for a while, huh?
Yeah, I appreciate your service, thank you for that. Hope everybody enjoy your all retirement.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and are you really going to miss Kevin?
Of course.
Billy Sue and I graduated together, so she's getting a chance now to retire, and I think I had, except for my great grandkids, I'm watching them also. I hope you have a wonderful retirement.
Thank you.
Would anybody in the audience like to say something before I have her introduce her family who's here with her?
I just want to thank Billy for all the help she's given me for the last 11 years, because if I need something, I can go downstairs and Billy can help me find it.
Thanks.
I just want to thank you for anytime you go in there, really Sue can't find it, just forget it's not there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dennis.
Will you accept call-in?
Yes. I'll be looking for something to do.
Anybody else want to say anything about those two? Any of your coworkers?
We're going to answer.
I
Wow.
knew you wanted to say something.
Yeah.
I see it.
We'll tell them
Okay, and Billy Sue, would you introduce your family?
Yes, this is my husband, Buddy, back there, Buddy Waters, my oldest daughter, Cindy, and my daughter, Shelley Rippey. Cindy Spriggs and Shelley Rippey. Pride and Joyce.
Okay, let's give Billy Sue another round of applause.
Yep, go back to work.
Take care of her now.
Kevin, you want to come on back up and let's do letter B in the presentations, your budget and surplus.
I had emailed all of you all a list of surplus items that I wanted to declare. I'm assuming that all of you have looked at it or seen it. I've got a few of the items that I would like to still declare them surplus, but for example, one of the items listed is a CES Votomatic. It looks like a big metal briefcase, but it's a very old style. It was a sample voting machine system that was provided somewhere prior to me becoming clerk, and I had thought that providing it to the History Museum would be a fitting place as opposed to dropping it in the recycling center. I have a wide format copier that we have used in the office for several years. It is still working, it's still functioning. Roanne and I have talked about it, and I think there's some interest in you all using it. You know, I don't know how much money it's worth putting into it, but if planning and zoning wanted it, you know, I'd be happy to help roll it on up the third floor so they could use it until it dies. I also have the cell phones that have been used in years past for on election day. And I made contact with Annette Ragg. She is involved with an organization called Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. They are able to recycle these phones and provide them to those who have need for them. And she said that she would be willing to accept these phones. And those items, upon declaring surplus, if you all are agreeable to those three things, the balance of it, if any of the other departments or agencies would want it. If they don't want it within, say, a month, I figure just haul it over to the recycling center and scrap them.
Action is requested.
Please.
Make a motion to surplus the items on the list from the clerk's office to the three items that were.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Buckles?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, Kevin, you want to do the budget now?
Yes, ma'am. Do you all need a copy of it? I emailed it to you all at the same time I sent the surplus, but if you need it, I have copies. Okay. It's three documents. I've got the budget, which I would ask that you all approve in whole. I've got the annual order setting the maximum amount of salary for the deputies and the assistants that needs motion and a second and approval. And then I have the order authorizing expenditures, which needs to be signed by Judge Roberts, which I would also ask for approval on that. The budget has had no real change to it. It is, we have tweaked just a little bit where we've seen some revenue decrease in a line. We've had no real increases that I can remember in the whole budget. So it is remarkably similar to the one you saw last year.
Action is requested, please.
Do we need three different motions or just one general motion?
Lauren has all three documents down there, so she's got the names of all three documents. It's actually your all's call. The primary thing that I don't want to let happen, the auditors come back looking to make sure that all three of these items have been approved by the court. And in years past, we have randomly forgotten one. I'll leave that to come back to you. So if we do them separate, I just want to try to make sure that we get all three and we don't miss one.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Williams, will you read that motion?
Yes, the motion was made that authorizes the judge to set the budget for the Bullitt County Clerk's Office for the year 2015.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook? Yes. Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts? Motion carried.
That's the second one. And the name of it.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual order setting maximum amount for deputies and assistants for 2015, decided by the judge.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Williams, will you read the motion, please?
The motion was made to approve the 2015 annual order setting maximum amount for deputies and assistants to be signed by the judge as presented.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I'll make a motion to authorize the judge to sign an order authorizing expenditures for the county clerk's office in 2015.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Williams, will you read the motion?
The motion was made authorizing the judge to sign the expenditures for the 2015 Bullitt County Clerk budget as presented.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, next up, is Jerry Kennedy here? There he is. Jerry Kennedy is in charge of our Bullitt County Sanitation District. He also has one commission here, Chuck Callahan. Chuck, glad to see you. And Mr. Jerry, go right ahead.
As you are aware, about a year and a half ago, we acquired Big Valley Mobile Home Wastewater Treatment Plant as a receiver. And we applied for an assistance agreement with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority for a forgivable loan of about $89,000. One of the conditions for approval of that loan was the Bullitt County District Court would donate or give us $12,000 a year for 2 years. For fiscal year 2014 or 2013, we received that $12,000. This year, we have not received it, and I'm here today to request our additional $12,000. And what you have there is the review that KIE did. And on page 5, item number 2 stipulates as a special condition the district court to do that for us. And we did receive the first $12,000. We have not received the second. That's why I'm here today.
Yes, go ahead.
I thought when we done that we only approved 1 year.
You may have, but we need to approve the second year also. That was one of the special conditions for us giving that forgivable loan.
You didn't approve all year.
Could be wrong, right, wrong, right.
No. Within 1 year, it was just one. But that was before the law, you applied for the law.
That was before we knew it was a condition.
I got you.
Deputy Judge, you want to go ahead and explain the information that you have?
Well, I pulled the minutes. That was, that meeting was December 18th, 2012. So I pulled the minutes just to see exactly what it said. And it says, the motion was entered pledging the sum of $12,247.76 to be placed in the Bullitt County Sanitation District's escrow account for 1 year maintenance.
cost for the Big Valley facility upon UCSD being named receiver of same. So that's all that has taken place up to now.
Any questions on what the deputy judge just read?
Did PSC put that in these papers here?
I'm sorry,
Did PSC put that extra 12,000?
this has come from the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority to approve the $89,000 favorable loan. That's part of their condition,
Oh, the
not public
12,000?
service.
The 12,000 that's in here?
I know that this has been discussed at some point along the way after they got the receivership, because they did not want to take receivership for the fact that they didn't want to use funds to clean up the project that was not in the district division's responsibility. Well, they saved the taxpayers a ton of money back then, and it was the best stopgap measure to a bad situation on the ground.
I'll make a motion to provide $12,000 to the Bullitt County Sanitation for the year of 2015. And then that should be it, right?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
We have a motion on the floor, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second, and let's have discussion and questions. Yes, Deputy Judge?
And I just want to ask where you would want us to take that, what line item out of the budget you would want us to take that from? The reserve or?
Reserve, yeah.
And Ms. Williams, read the motion, please.
The motion was to provide the $12,000 from the reserve account to the Bullitt County Sanitation for the year of 2015.
Thank you. And are there any other questions or discussion on this motion?
Is this actually for 2015 or is it for 2014? Is it for this year or is it for?
I believe it's really for the fiscal year 2014 budget.
How was over the score?
So you've got the 2013, you want?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
think this is just something that we are kind of, need to continue to do as far as what we are told by the infrastructure department to be able to keep Big Valley and not let it get to the point that it was when we started working on it. And this way we can possibly keep it to where it's not going to be a health hazard to the people that live in there. And also being able to have all the sanitation in their homes.
Yes, CEO.
We looked at this yesterday, and the concern we had is there wasn't a line item in the budget for this. And again, you all made the motion in the second to take that out of the surplus. The deputy judge and I are in contact with the grant writer. The grant is under the Big Valley Marvin Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
We are waiting to see if maybe we can recoup this money through that grant somehow. Not that should affect what you all are doing today, but maybe down the road we can maybe replenish the money back.
But why, where would it come from out of the grant?
We don't know. We've not heard back. We talked yesterday, and they're researching that to see. That was just a question to try to get it, since it wasn't in a line item, and instead of taking it out of surplus. We're waiting to see that. And again, that shouldn't affect what's going on here today. But down the road, if they come back and say we can't, we can move that money back in. That's just a point of information.
And let me did on what our CEO was saying. It's not in the budget. With the addition of our new CEO here in Fort Hampton, in county government, we're trying to be we're continuing to be good stewards of taxpayers' money, and it's not in the budget. That is our main concern, that there's not a line item in the budget. And I've noticed that throughout my years of being here, we tend to pull money from the reserves. And I'm hoping in the future that we can get these things in the budget, follow the budget, so that we are being more, people often say to me, county government, or any kind of government, but let's take the federal government, shall we? Run it more like a business, if possible. Run it more like a business. It's our money, it's our hard-earned money. So that's what Jerry, that's the only point we're trying to make here. Do I support the sanitation district getting the $12,000? You bet I do, because I've already told you I do. So it's not a matter of whether we want you to have the $12,000. It's a matter of it's not in the budget. So we're hoping in this coming year that we have a good budget, which we do now, but we need to stick to it, in my opinion. I have a personal budget. I have to stick to my personal budget, or I can't pay my bills. And Jerry, I thank you so much for coming today, and I do support the $12,000. But that's just, I want to help our CEO out with that because he's really trying to do the right thing. Go ahead.
Well, I guess my question is, am I going to get the money or not?
Are we going to take a vote?
I mean,
well, let's vote.
Everything was committed to this. That's why we got our forgivable loan. So it's really not a matter of whether it's in a line item budget or not this year. I don't think that we're supposed to be getting the money.
Let's vote. Okay. Ms. Williams?
Ms.
Holder?
Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Well, let's do the logistics of this. So we'll cut this check.
Do you need a check immediately, Jerry?
No.
or the next-
Whenever your next cycle goes out, our concern is to have it, and that way we have a fallback if something goes wrong. I am proud to say all the folks are paying us their bill out here, and we are generating enough money to pay the bills. This makes a nice cushion for us.
And the check needs to go to Bullitt County Sanitation
Yes,
District.
ma'am.
Is there any way that you could just generate an invoice
I can do
for
that.
me I have a paper trail.
Oh, good. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Jerry. Thank you, Chuck, for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm all in favor of that.
Next up, David, you were on the agenda. So David Rayleigh is coming up here. David is with the Veteran Homelessness Program. And I talked to him, I think it was last week, and I really like what he said, because it's concerning veterans. So I'm going to let David explain what his request is.
Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is David Rayleigh, and I'm a senior official from the federal agency, United States Housing and Urban Development's Kentucky Field Office. And we're working on a very special initiative right now. It's called the Mayor's Challenge to End Veterans Homelessness. And what I'm doing this morning is I'm seeking the court's basically their support of this initiative. Basically, this is an initiative that's been put forward by the country's League of Cities, and we're helping to promote it right now to start conversations with elected officials. HUD set the goal in 2010 to eradicate veterans homelessness by the end of 2015. We're 33% of the way there. We're trying to make this last push, and what this initiative does, it makes everybody aware of what's going on with our elected officials, because they can start some very important conversations and talk about leveraging investment. Last year, we had about 40 people in Bullitt County that sought homeless services, and just one of those was a veteran. But as we all know, veterans are silent sufferers that are, very prideful. They don't like to step forward that often. But one is too many, and I'm here just looking for your support. We have over 120 elected officials signed on to this so far. The second in the nation is California with 25. So we're very passionate about this. We're working with Kentucky Housing Corporation, which is our state housing finance agency, to get additional vouchers for the counties whose elected officials have signed on. So I'm looking for your support this morning. Are there any questions I might be able to answer?
Give me, Judge, refresh my memory. What type of document do we need for this?
I spoke with Mr. Bradley and just
In the
needed a
minutes?
document. Yeah, we just needed to get it on the record in the minutes. Just letting us
And, Mr. Rayleigh, tell us again, you would like to have support concerning the fiscal court agreeing
to support this challenge within the resources of the county. I'm not asking you for anything additional, but your names will go on the federal website along with the other 120 elected officials that we have from around the state right now. It's a bipartisan issue. I'm not, like I said, I'm not asking for anything additional. I just want your support, and we're the strongest in the nation right now. We're going to end homelessness for veterans in this state first here in the country.
And this is a federal grant that's going to be used in Bullitt County and some surrounding counties.
It's not a federal grant. Just these additional vouchers that I'm talking about, I've come from conversations with elected officials and them buying in.
I make a motion that we support this endeavor to end veteran homelessness. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, will you read the motion?
The motion was made by Judge Roberts to support this endeavor of veteran homelessness.
Ending. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcroft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Westphal?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, David.
Thank you all. Appreciate
you coming
it.
in.
Sure.
Now, is there anything else that I need to do?
Nothing at all.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. And David, thank you for your service to our country.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Next up, Amber Jones is with Eric Harris's office. She just has a clarification for the fiscal court record. I very much appreciate her coming in. So, Amber, take it away.
Our office was retained by Louisville Water Company to handle a closing where they are obtaining some property here in Bullitt County. And there was an amendment to the settlement statement in which the
bottom dollar that's coming to the county has not changed at all. It's actually increased the charges to Louisville Water Company. And so what I have with me today is a check made out to the county for $23,256.50, as well as a copy of the amended settlement statement, which will reflect that no changes were made to the county's bottom dollar.
Okay, and then we'll put that. So Ms. So Ms. Williams, would you make that clarification? Do you have any questions on that?
I didn't hear the total amount for the check.
$23,256.50.
Ms. Jones just wanted to make a clarification that there was an amendment made to for the deed to the Louisville Water Company, and there was actually going to be a refund made to the county of $23,256.50.
Yes.
Okay, any questions?
It's cash to the seller from the seller property.
This is.
Any questions concerning the clarification of this settlement statement? Okay, so we do have a motion. All right. Ms. Williams, you can call the roll.
Ms. Ashmore?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Jeff Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Amber. Appreciate you staying so long. Excuse me. Director Hammond, we have 3 first readings today. Good morning, Director.
Our first docket is 2014 3-24, Edward P. Rochester's estate, Thomas McKay, executor, asking to rezone from ag non-conforming to R1 residential. Planning Commission heard this case on November 13th, 2014. They made a motion to give this favorable recommendation. The existing classification given to this property is inappropriate. The requested zoning classification is more appropriate because the property is less than a 10-acre agricultural zone requirement. And there also have been major economic, physical, or social changes within the area of the requested zoning changes, which were not anticipated in the adopted comprehensive plan, which have substantially altered the basic character of the area around this requested zoning change. There are several residential homes in the area.
Thank you, Director Hammond. County Attorney?
Before I read this for first reading, I need you all to vote on something. We're going to have a first reading today because we need to comply with the number of days we have to get this done. But traditionally, we have a public hearing at this meeting, and at the second meeting, we vote at. But there will be a nucleus report at that meeting. We need to vote today to have the first reading, but pass the hearing and the vote to the second meeting. That way the new court can vote on it. If not, they're going to be asked to vote on something that's not heard. Okay.
Are we making a motion or anything?
Do I need to say before I have it, before I read any
I'll
of
make a
it?
motion to postpone public hearing and vote on these documents for the next fiscal court meeting in January.
Just a public hearing. We always vote at the second meeting. It's just a hearing or pass, just like you do if we were doing an ordinance. It has just been tradition in this county to have a hearing at the first meeting. It does not matter. But since we're breaking with tradition, it doesn't want it on record.
I'll second.
discussion on the motion? And Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashland?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Since two future magistrates just walked in and this I'm just gonna say it again. What we did was just vote to have the public hearing at the second meeting, which is where you all will vote on these ordinance changes for zoning. Normally we do it at the first meeting, but just let you know why. Okay? All right. Ordinance number 14-24, an ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural non-conforming to R1 residential. The property in question is 3.967 acres, more or less located at 829 East Point Road in an unincorporated area of the county, being ordained by the fiscal court of the county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2014 Z24, is hereby changed from agricultural non-conforming to R1 residential. Given the first reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt Fiscal Court on the 16th day of December 2014, and set for a second reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt Fiscal Court on the 6th day of January 2015.
Thank you, County Attorney.
The second docket is 2014 Z-25. The applicant is the Estate of Aileen Hall, Brenda Roberts, and Carl Hall co-executors. They're asking to rezone a portion of their property from agricultural to R1 residential. This case was heard by the Planning Commission on November 13, 2014. They voted to send a favorable recommendation to fiscal court. This requested zoning change is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan, and there are several residential uses in this area.
Ordinance number 14-25, an ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 1 acre more or less located at 670 White Lane in the unincorporated area of the county, being ordained by the fiscal court, County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2014 Z25. Is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Given first reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt Fiscal Court on the 16th day of December 2014, and to be given a second reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 6th day of January 2015.
Thank you, County Attorney. And I want to note that there's a representative here for the Edward Leroy Shepherd Estates, Mr. McDaniel is here. I want to note that for the record. That Mr. McDaniel is here to support his zoning request. And I want to note that Brenda Roberts is here to support the zoning request of Aileen Hall Estates. And we'll go to number 3, Eric Pryor. Is anyone here for Eric Pryor? Okay. Let's go through this process and
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, the next one is docket 2014 Z26. The applicant, Eric C. Pryor, asking to rezone a portion of his property from ag non-conforming to R1 residential. The Planning Commission heard this case on November 13, 2014. They voted to send a favorable recommendation to fiscal court because the existing zoning classification given to this property is inappropriate, and the requested zoning classification is more appropriate because the property is less than 10 acres, which is an agricultural zone requirement. There have been major economic and physical and social changes within the area of the requested zoning changes, which were not anticipated in the adopted comprehensive plan, which have substantially altered the basic character of the area of this zoning request, and there are several residential homes in the area.
Ordinance number 14-26, an ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural non-conforming to R1 residential. The property in question is 5.01 acres, more or less, located at 268 Oak Ridge Court in an unincorporated area of the county, being ordained by the fiscal court, County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2014 Z-26 is hereby changed from agricultural non-conforming to R1 residential. Given first reading at the regular meeting of the fiscal court of Bullitt County on the 16th day of December 2014, and set for a second reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 6th day of January 2015.
Thank you, County Attorney. And what is your name?
My name is Catherine Plummer.
Spell your last name.
P as in Paul, L-U-M-M-E-R. I am Eric Pryor's niece, yes.
P-L-U-M-M-E-R.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you for being here. And then for the three of you all, Mr. Daniel, Brenda, and Ms. Plummer, we'll have the public hearing in the January meeting, which usually goes very smoothly. And that'll be the next fiscal court. The next fiscal court meeting will be in January 1st, Tuesday, or not? 6th. Okay, January 6th. So y'all can come back for that, okay? All right, so we've completed that. You're good to go on all that, and we're moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, but I would like to say to the magistrates, the new magistrates that are coming in, if you stop by my office, I'll get you a copy of the zoning regulations and the comprehensive plan.
Thank you, Director Hammond. Excuse me, her name. Director Stylers, do you have anything?
No, ma'am, I don't have anything.
All righty, Director Phillips. Director Phillips, will you address the Homeland Security agenda item first?
Yes, ma'am. You should have had a copy of the contract between Bullitt County Fiscal Court and the Kentucky Department of Homeland Security. This agreement is going to allow us to start the process to purchase the AED that will replace in all 6 fire departments. The amount of the grant is $47,000. We'll be replacing 3 new AEDs to replace the aging equipment that they already have. So I'm seeking approval by court to authorize the judge to sign this document.
Action is requested, please.
Say 47,000 or
47,000.
Are we supposed to have a copy of that?
Should have been placed in the packet. It doesn't show the $47,000. It shows the $37 million that the state received for the complete statewide program.
It shows $37,000.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the EMPG here. 37,000.
So it shows 37, but you know what?
No, 37. I'm sorry. It's 37.
I was just trying to find another 10,000 somewhere. It wasn't there. I make a motion to accept the purchase order for $37,000 from Homeland Security and authorize the judge to sign it at the appropriate time.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you can call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Lasso?
Yes.
Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, Director, let's do the EMPG, please.
Second item you should have received in your packet was another contract with the state. It's for Kentucky Emergency Management. What this EMPG grant is an agreement between Fiscal Court and Kentucky Emergency Management to reimburse the county $36,235. What we utilize those funds for is reimbursement on part of mine and Wes's salary. So we take the $36,000 and just apply it to our salaries for their 50% match to the program.
Action is requested.
And I'm seeking authorization for the judge to sign this document.
I'll make that motion. I've seen it.
I don't think we have it. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, just wait for the call roll.
Excuse me, Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Ludlow?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Thank you. And the ADF grant?
The Kemper Area Development Fund, we usually utilize for building renovations over on Saltwater Court. What I'd like to do in an effort to get that money in here quicker is I have to have Fiscal Court approval on the project and use it for what we want to use it for. Is the vehicle that we just had to order under the emergency order the judge to get it in here. This will just allow us to get that money in here mid-January instead of waiting for renovations to be done in the building. It's $5,488. But I'll have a canceled check and an invoice that we'll be able to submit by the end of the week and just get the money, the $5,000 in here by mid-January.
Mike said $5,488.
$5,488.
I make a motion that the ADF funds go toward the new truck, meaning ambulance or county. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And Director of the Electronic Timekeeping.
In working with the CFO and trying to mainline and streamline some of the work product and to try to bring the county into the 21st century, the Emergency Services Committee approved me to start doing a pilot program for some type of electronic timekeeping software program. I've talked to the treasurer, and what we want to do is start that process. We've talked to Red Wing to see what we have to do to make sure that the two programs can communicate and that we would be able to upload the information. What I am seeking from court today is there's a policy passed that specifically states time cards must be submitted. And I'm seeking fiscal court approval to submit spreadsheet time records instead of the individual time cards. So I'm asking you to vote on that to allow us to go outside the parameters of the policy that was adopted back in 2002.
I'll make a motion that a spreadsheet be submitted from the emergency services
Alternative.
instead of the old-fashioned time cards. And I want the words old-fashioned in my statement. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Magistrates, for doing that because we need to move forward. And this is a move forward. And direct deposit.
The last item. Direct deposit that is mentioned on the agenda is specifically for or not specifically for, but it's being addressed because they are forcing us at EMS in the building office that we have to start receiving direct deposit payments from all of the insurance companies. In 2015 and 2016, because of the ACA, all of them are going to be going to that. So what we will be looking at is anywhere from 80 to 120 direct deposits being put in a month, and Crystal's going to have to call Canaan to ask Canaan to call the bank and jump through all the hoops at the bank to make sure that the electronic deposit was put in and when it was. So talking to Canaan and Mr. Griffey, what we would like to do is get fiscal court's approval to work with PBI and get Canaan and keep read-only permissions on the bank account, so that all Crystal will have to do is submit an email to Canaan saying, here's the electronic deposits we're being told, can you check it? Canaan can log in, view it only, and then let Crystal know when it was deposited. So Keith and Canaan would only have view-only permissions, but it is going to make their lives a lot easier because we cannot put and register a deposit in our billing program until we know the date that it was put in the bank and to make sure that that electronic deposit is in fact in the bank. So we're seeking fiscal court approval for Canaan and Keith to work with PBI and get read-only permissions to the banking account.
Okay, action is requested, please.
Make a motion to allow Canaan and Keith Griffey access to the bank accounts, read-only access to the direct deposits that are made by EMS.
We have a motion, do I hear a second? We have a motion and a second. And Ms. Williams, will you read that motion again?
The motion was made to allow Canaan and Keith access to PBI's. Let's start over. The motion was made to allow Canaan and Keith read-only access through the PBI bank accounts regarding the direct deposits made by EMS.
Any questions or discussion on the motion?
This won't have any transfer powers, nothing like that. So, and Mr. Laswell, I think it was through his committee that we discussed this as well.
Ms. Williams, it's not deposited made by EMS, it's deposited made by insurance companies to EMS.
It's actually, it would be for the disbursement account.
Let's let Ms. Williams fix that and she's here, you know.
The motion is to allow Canaan and Keith access, read-only access through PBI Bank to view the direct deposits made by the insurance companies to EMS in regards to the disbursement account.
Any questions or discussion on that motion? And Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Anything else, Director?
That's all I have.
Thank you, Director Phillips. Director Hatfield? Good morning, Director.
Good morning. I hope I gave you one of these tonight, Judge. Give everybody else one.
Yeah.
We had our household hazardous waste event, and the county received $15,489.10. We spent $6,113.54, so we need to send them back a check for $9,375.56. Unspent funds. If you have any questions,
Do you mind repeating that one more time?
ma'am?
Would you repeat that?
Here, I'll give you a copy. I thought I gave you one, I'm sorry. I even highlighted it for you.
I make a motion to cut a check for $9,375.56 and return it to Division of Waste Management.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Roswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you all, and enjoyed working with y'all. Y'all have a good Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Director. Drew, do you have anything this morning? Okay. Jimmy Miller, Ed Everson, Mark Gardner, Mike Alvin, Walker. And, let's go on to old business. We do have one thing. Second reading of budget amendment 14-06, amendment number 1. Deputy Judge, or Ms. Sharp, are y'all, Ms. Sharp? Okay.
This is page 1-2, ordinance number 14-06, amendment number 1, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the county of Bullitt has realized unbudgeted receipts from the general, road, jail, federal grants, EMS, and dispatch, be it ordained by the fiscal court of county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, section 1, the budget for fiscal year 2014-2015 is amended to increase the receipts of the general, road, jail, federal grants, EMS, and dispatch funds by $119,855 to include unbudgeted receipts from account code 014727 reimbursements in the amount of $34,058, account code 02-6517 driver's license in the amount of $7,662, account code 024901 prior year carryover by $40,485, account code 03-33 insurance reimbursement in the amount of $4,037, account code 07-4901 prior year carryover in the amount of $9,000, account code 09-4733 insurance reimbursement in the amount of $5,393, account code 77-4733 insurance reimbursement in the amount of $19,220. Section B, increase expenditure accounts, account code 01-9200-9990, reserve in the amount of $34,058, account code 02-6105-4050, asphalt in the amount of $38,147, account code 02-6105-4410, machinery and equipment in the amount of $10,000, account code 03-5101-4650, inmate clothing in the amount of $2,037, account code 03-5101-5490, medical services in the amount of $2,000, account code 07-5136-7390, generators and warning sirens in the amount of $9,000, account code 09-5140-5630, postal charges in the amount of $2,500, account code 09-5140-5730, telephone in the amount of $2,893, and account code 77-5145-5880, equipment maintenance by $19,220. Page 2 of 2, ordinance number 14-06, amendment number 1. Section 2, the amount adjusting the receipts and expenditure accounts in section 1 are for governmental purposes. Approved by the fiscal court of Bullitt County, Kentucky, this day, the second day of December 2014, signed by Melanie J. Roberts, County Judge Executive, and approved as form and classification this fifth day of December 2014, signed by Robert Brown, State and Local Finance Officer. This budget amendment was duly adopted by the fiscal court of Bullitt County, Kentucky, the 16th day of December 2014.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Action is requested.
Make a motion to accept the ordinance as read.
We have a motion and a second.
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Okay, let's go to new bid, oh, come on now, let's see what it says. Yeah. New business number 1. Action is requested to change payroll date from Thursday, December 25th to Tuesday, December 23rd due to the Christmas holiday, and to disperse payroll checks on Tuesday, December 23rd.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball? Yes. Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And number 2, under new business, surplus items from the treasurer's office. A Brother Laser Printer Model NFC 7361N. Ms. Sharp, you want to say anything about that?
This is a printer that I have had for about 7.5 years and literally just had parts falling off and it wouldn't hold my paper in and I just had to buy a new one. So I just need to declare the surplus so I can send it down to Larry.
Action is requested.
Make a motion to surplus the Bullitt laser printer model NFC 7360 in the treasurer's office.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Ms. Williams, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. You're welcome, Ms. Sharp. And number 3, which is under, if this is on the addendum, this is number 3 under new business. Mike, you sure you want to do this?
I'm sorry, I was looking at my financial.
I wish to appoint Mike Phillips as Emergency Service Director for, go ahead, say again.
Emergency management.
What did I say? Sorry, it says management. Hey, Ms. Williams, I get this right. Emergency Management Director. Do I need a timeline in there, a time frame?
No, the statute points out 4-year term.
Do I hear a second to my motion?
I'll second it.
Thank you, John. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Let's do it quick before we decide to say no. All right, Ms. Williams, please call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw? Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Congratulations, Mike. And,
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure.
oh, I know it has. And I appreciate all your hard work and we look forward to working with you in the next 4 years.
Better run.
Have I covered everything? I don't have any other business. The sign sheet,
There's one.
there is not, nobody's signing? Yes, but did we have a sign sheet?
There is not one on that.
There is not one on the podium. Did someone want to speak since we have a sign sheet on the podium? Well, yes, I know, but we're going to take the sign sheet first. Okay, Taylor Knox, come on up. Good morning to you. And we are ready to, you have a checklist? Thank you, Taylor Knox.
I was paid for $9,281.32 from 11/1 to 11/30 as clear. I had. Anything for me? Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Chairman Knox. I have no other business, so I will look for a motion of adjournment. I'm not making that motion, but I'm looking for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. Any questions or discussion?
I'd like to say something. This of course is my last day, and I hope that everyone that's taking over as new will take into consideration that Keith Griffey is the most important thing in this county. He will look at all the accounts, all the departments, at some point once he gets all this stuff in gear. And as I don't think the line items have been looked at prior to him coming on, and that is, I think, one reason why things were so scared, and there was money just going out the door. That's my belief. I was told I was being rude and picking on someone. That's okay. That's okay. I can't say it has been real fine in the last year and a half. The first 2.5 years was good. But I don't see how they cannot think that it would be an easy way for money to get out the door in this county. And I think Keith will be a wonderful person to stay on top of all that. So please, new magistrates, just think about that. Thank you.
We do have a motion on the floor for adjournment, so.
We'll vote on that and then we can talk, can we? We haven't voted on that. Since I have the floor, I'm going to set it here. I've enjoyed these last 2 years. It's been a whirlwind. I will be back. I think I might run for the judge's chair here because she's getting tired of it. She wants to go to bigger and better things. But I have enjoyed being your magistrate here in the 2nd District. And look forward to working with Gary. If you have any questions, I can ever help you. Let me know. I've got some tips for you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have a motion on the floor for adjournment. Any other discussions or questions on the motion?
It's been a pleasure, it's been a challenge. Good luck, go regular.
Thank you.
The motion is still on the floor. Questions and discussions? 10 seconds and we're going to call the roll. Call the roll, Ms. Williams.
Ms. Asheville?
Yes.
Mr. Matt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion